Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Fourth day in a row of our new series, Nick at Noon. I hope you all have been enjoying the series. I have been enjoying putting these together for you this week. And if you have tuned in on Monday, Tuesday, or yesterday, you already know I'm going to say some things that you're going to want to write down. So, I'm going to give you just a bit of time to go get your notebooks and your pens or whatever it is that you take notes on because we are going to be getting into it. We are going to be talking about why AI cannot replace a coach. And I'm going to be a little bit personal on this one because this topic actually came out of a conversation that I had just yesterday with my dad. And we were just discussing about the opportunity to use AI in a coaching business and the potentiality of AI replacing a coaching business. And yeah, so I thought that this would be a really good topic to discuss today, since Thursdays are going to be the days that I give my perspective and my hot take on a topic that's relevant in the coaching community. And today we're talking about AI. Are y'all ready to get into it? All right, because the thing about it is everybody is scared of AI. Literally everybody. Teachers are scared it's going to replace them. Nurses are scared that it's going to replace them. Writers, designers, marketers, project managers, they're all scared, y'all. And coaches are either pretending the conversation isn't happening, or they are quietly panicking that the thing they're building is already obsolete. It is already obsolete. So I want to have the conversation that, um, oh, sorry, Instagram. Y'all couldn't see me. Nobody said anything. So I want to have the conversation that nobody in the coaching space wants to have. And that is, can AI replace a coach? And the short answer is no, but the longer answer is more interesting, because while AI can't replace what a great coach does, it absolutely can and should be running a significant portion of your coaching business behind the scenes. And the coaches who figure that out first are going to have a serious advantage over the ones who are still debating whether or not they should be afraid of it. Because let's be clear, whether you're afraid of it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you use it or not, AI is here to stay. And I might be dating myself, but I am of an age where I remember the internet wasn't even a really, like, it was not even a real thing. So I remember how people responded to the internet. I remember when Google started to become, the search engine that everyone used. And I remember when ads started tracking you across the internet and how people responded to that. So yes, um, whether you like it or not, it's here to stay. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And welcome back to Nick at Noon. I am Nick Scott, and I help women use their existing skills to build high ticket coaching offers without quitting their 9 to 5 and without burning out in the process. And every Thursday, I'm going to use this time to say something that might ruffle a few feathers. And I'm not doing it to be provocative, but I just want to be clear. I believe that conversations, these types of conversations that make people uncomfortable, they're usually the ones that need to happen most. So, is it okay with you if I have these conversations with y'all once a week for Nick at Noon? All right. All right, good. So before I get into it, I want to acknowledge something. Those fears that I described at the top of this conversation, those fears they're real. And it makes sense because we are literally in real time watching AI do things that 2 years ago we would have said it was impossible. Like we're watching it happen in real time. AI is writing content, it is analyzing data, it's answering questions, it's generating plans, strategies, frameworks, and recommendations at a speed no human can match. It's doing it at a speed that no human can match because it's a machine, it's a robot. And if you're a coach whose entire value proposition is built around answering questions and providing frameworks, that can feel threatening. So I'm not minimizing the fear. I'm not minimizing anyone out there who has these feelings that AI might replace their job. I'm not minimizing that. But here's what I want you to notice: the fear of AI replacing coaches is built on a fundamental misunderstanding of what coaching really truly is. Because most people, including a lot of coaches, sad to say, they confuse coaching with advice giving. And the thing about it is, if coaching were just advice giving, then yes, Instagram, yes, YouTube, AI would be a real threat because AI gives advice faster, it gives the advice cheaper, and here's the thing: AI gives the advice with more breadth of knowledge than any individual human ever could. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. But here's the real deal: coaching is not advice giving. Coaching is not advice giving. Good coaching is not advice giving. And that distinction right there, that is the whole argument. Now, let me tell you what AI genuinely cannot do. Genuinely, AI cannot do it. And I want to be specific here because we have heard the claims. I've heard the claims. I've worked in marketing my entire career, and marketing is one of those industries where people are scared of AI. And so the biggest argument that people say is, well, AI can't replace human connection. But I'm here to say that that claim, that's not enough. So I really want to be specific in what I'm saying about what AI cannot do. And I really want to get into the mechanics of what makes coaching irreplaceable, what makes my job and what I want to help other women do, what makes this industry irreplaceable. So, this is the point where you might want to grab your pens and your notebooks or whatever it is that you take notes on, pop open a notes app on your phone or your tablet, because I'm going to give you four things that AI cannot do, and it's not going to replace coaching. So, the first thing that AI can't do is hold you accountable to the version of yourself that you said you wanted to become. AI can't do that because accountability is not a notification on your Apple Watch. Accountability is not a reminder on your phone. It's not a chat bot asking you, did you complete your action item this week? That's not what accountability is. Real accountability is a relationship. And I want y'all to write that down if you're taking notes, because that one was good. Real accountability is a relationship. It is the experience of having someone, some person who knows your full story, and that person remembers what you said you were going to do. That person is going to understand why you didn't do it. And that person cares enough about your growth to have the honest conversation with you about accountability anyway. AI can't do that. AI can simulate that conversation, but it cannot have it because having that conversation requires a genuine investment in an outcome that belongs to someone else, another person. And AI doesn't have stakes in it, but your coach does. The second thing that AI cannot do is read what's happening underneath what you're saying. Every experienced coach knows what a client says in a session and what's going on are often two completely different things. They're able to, a person can read between the lines, a person can feel energy and emotion, a person can read the room. The client who says that she can't find clients is often afraid of rejection. I've learned that in my experience as a coach. The client who comes to me and says that she doesn't have time to work on her coaching business, she's often not fully committed to the identity shift that's required to build the coaching business. When a client comes to me and says she doesn't know what to charge, she's often afraid that if she names her price, that somebody's going to say no. She's afraid of price objection. AI responds to the words. Me as a coach, you as a coach, you respond to the pattern. Does that make sense, y'all? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down here? And that pattern, that recognition, the ability to hear what someone is or isn't saying and reflect it back in a way that creates breakthrough, that right there, y'all, that is a deeply human skill. Deeply human skill because it requires emotional intelligence, it requires lived experience, it requires the kind of intuition that comes from years of sitting with people in their most vulnerable moments. AI doesn't have years, y'all. It has data. And data is not the same as wisdom. So, the third thing that AI cannot do is co regulate your nervous system. And I know that might sound like therapy speak. So let me break it down in a way that might make this a little bit more practical. Because there is something that happens in a coaching session when someone finally says the thing they've been afraid to say out loud. It happens so often, and it is such a good, beautiful moment when that breakthrough happens. But here's the human part of it. Somebody says the thing that they've been afraid to say out loud, and then another human receives it without even flinching. That human receives it without judgment, and that human receives it without immediately trying to fix it. They're literally just receiving it. And that moment, that specific experience of being fully seen and not found lacking, that's one of the most transformative things that a coaching relationship can provide. And it can't be replicated by a language model, no matter how sophisticated the output of that language model. I don't care what it is. That situation that I described, a language model cannot replicate that. And the reason it cannot replicate that is because transformation doesn't come from the words, it comes from the experience of being in a relationship with another person who genuinely believes in your capacity to grow. That's where it comes from. AI can generate encouragement, but it cannot believe in you. It can't. And the fourth thing AI cannot do is bring its own journey to the table. So when I, as a coach, when I share something from my own experience, when I share a failure, when I share a pivot, when I share moments of doubt, when I share a decision that I made that changed everything, that story lands differently than just consuming a bunch of information because it's evidence. It is evidence that the thing that you might be afraid of, that I've survived it. It's evidence that the outcome you're hoping for is real. If somebody did it, if somebody been through it, then you can too. It's evidence that the path that you're on, it's been walked down before. AI doesn't have a journey, it's training data. And there's no amount of training data that replicates the experience of hearing someone say, I have been exactly where you are. And here's what happened when I kept going. Okay, so those are the four things that AI cannot do. They just can't do it. And here's where I'm just going to say the thing, y'all. The coaches who are afraid of AI are afraid of the wrong thing. Because AI is not coming for your coaching business. I promise you it's not. It's coming for the parts of your coaching business that shouldn't have been in your job or you spending a bunch of time on in the first place. And I'm talking about the administrative work, the content creation, the research, the drafts, the scheduling, the follow-up sequences, the proposal templates, all of that work that helps that has been eating up your time. Let's just be honest, this is often the work that you probably dread doing anyway because you find it to be draining your energy and keeping you from doing the thing that you should be spending your time on the most, and that is coaching, right? Or and building your business. I have never met someone who wanted to be a coach that wants to do all of these other things that drain their energy. And the coaches who are going to struggle in an AI world, they're not the ones who are bad at coaching. They're the ones who built their entire coaching business around doing things that AI can now do faster and cheaper. The coaches who are going to thrive are the ones who let AI handle everything that it can handle. And then it allows you to show up fully human for everything that it cannot. AI is not your competition. it's it's not your competition. AI is actually your leverage. And if you're not using it that way yet, you're leaving both time and money on the table. So let me get specific about where specifically AI belongs in your coaching business. I kind of touched on it a little bit, but I just want to dig a little bit deeper because we got some time. Y'all got some time? I see the love on YouTube. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining. I got some time. So I want to get specific because I think a lot of coaches are either using AI when I'm talking about it, using AI for nothing, or they're trying to use AI for everything. And neither one of those is the right answer. So the first place where AI belongs in your coaching business is content creation. I kind of touched on this a little bit. And it's not because AI should be doing the thinking for you. Okay, we don't want AI to literally replace our brains, but the gap between having an idea And having a finished piece of content, as someone who is a content marketer, that gap between idea and content is really, 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 really large. And AI can close that gap dramatically. So you bring the perspective, right? You bring the idea, you bring the lived experience, and you bring the hot take on whatever the thing is. And what AI does is it helps you get out of your head. Like, stop thinking. I'm an Aquarius. I am a notorious overthinker. Get out of your head. And it helps me personally. I use it for content creation. Format it, put it in a format that my audience can consume. And it does it faster than I can do it alone. Like, it does it faster than I did it 2 years ago. It does it faster than I did it 6 months ago. For example, a 30-minute live show like this, it can become a blog post for my website. It can become a newsletter for my email list. It can become a series of social media captions for my Instagram or my Facebook. And if I wanted it to, it can become a podcast transcript. And here's the thing that's crazy. AI can repurpose this live video into all those different pieces of content in the time it used to take me to write just one of those things. And that is not cheating, that is leverage. I used to tell my kids all the time, and I still tell them now that they're adults, to use your resources. When they would come to me with a question and it was a simple question, I would tell them, did you use your resources, before I would just answer the question. Because using your resources is not cheating, it's leverage. Okay? So the second place AI belongs in your business is in your client experience infrastructure. So I'm talking about the welcome sequences, the onboarding documents, the weekly check-in prompts, the resource libraries, the FAQ responses, all of those written touch points that make a client feel supported in between your live weekly sessions. AI can and should be helping you with that. It should be helping you build those faster and refine them based on what's working and what's not. And the fact of the matter is, when your infrastructure is strong, your clients get more value between sessions. And what does that mean for you? If your clients are getting more value between sessions, it means a couple things. First of all, it means your clients are going to get better results. They're going to feel more supported. When a client gets better results and they feel more supported, they're more likely to refer more clients to you. And that means your business grows without you working more hours. So you're scaling. So the third place that AI belongs is in your research and preparation. And I think a lot of people are using AI like this already, but I really want to emphasize this and maybe give you a couple of other examples how you might not be using it. So, before a coaching session, before a launch, before you create a new offer, AI can help you get up to speed on what your ideal client is struggling with right now. AI can help you with finding out what questions your ideal client is asking, what language they're using, and what solutions they've already tried. Take it from me when I say this research used to take hours to do, and now it doesn't. And the truth is, the coach who shows up to a sales conversation already knowing exactly what the prospective client has been searching for, what they're saying, and what they're struggling with, that coach has a significant advantage over the one who's still trying to figure it out in real time. So the fourth place AI belongs in your business is in the operational backend of your business. This part is the proposal templates, the contract language review, email responses, scheduling systems, financial tracking, all of those back end operational things. AI belongs there. So all of that operational work that that keeps a business running, but it doesn't require your specific skill set. Like, I'm a marketer. Financial tracking is not my jam, okay? But AI can do it to help me and it can do it faster. And when those things are off of your plate, you have more capacity for the work you should be doing. Now, here's where AI doesn't belong in your business. I just spent quite a bit of time telling you where it should be in your business. Now, let's talk about where it doesn't belong because there are places where it does not belong. It does not belong on your coaching calls. It doesn't belong in your client relationships as a substitute for your presence. Don't do that. Do not do that. That is just very inauthentic and very disingenuous. AI doesn't belong as a replacement for your personal opinions, perspective. It doesn't belong as a replacement for your personal story or your journey or your judgment. All of those things are yours. And those things are exactly why clients are going to pay you. So, I want to bring this conversation back to a place where you might be right now because I think there might be a few different types of women who might be watching this right now. And the first type of woman um, might be the one who's been thinking about building a coaching business, but has been quietly wondering whether it makes sense to start something that AI might make irrelevant. And to her, if this is you, I want to say this: the coaching business is not becoming less relevant because of AI, it's becoming more relevant. And the reason it's becoming more relevant is because the more information people have access to, the more they need someone to help them figure out what to do with all this information. So, the information, that problem of overwhelm, is not solved by consuming more information. Overwhelm is solved by a trusted guide who can help you sort through what matters, who can help you make a decision, and who can help you move forward. And that guide is a coach. And no amount of AI can replace that need. Then there might be the woman who's already building but hasn't yet integrated AI into her business because it feels overwhelming, or, like I mentioned before, she might feel like it's cheating. And to her, I want to say this: using AI to run your business is more efficient. Sorry, I got distracted. Hello, hello, EA Hicks. Thanks for joining on Instagram. Using AI to run your business more efficiently is not cheating, it's strategy. The question is never whether to use the tools that are available to you. The question is whether using them in a way that amplifies what makes you irreplaceable rather than replacing it. And finally, this might sound like you. If you're the woman who's already using AI but still feels like you're not keeping up, here's what I want you to hear about that one. You don't need to master all the AI tools on the market. There's a bunch of them. There's so many, and it feels like there's new ones that pop up every single day. What I recommend you do is to identify 2 or 3 specific places in your business where AI can give you back the most time, and then you start there. Because the goal is not to run a more automated business. That shouldn't be the goal. The goal is to free up more of your time and energy for the work that only you, the human coach, can do. And all three of the women that I just described, they all have something in common. They're all trying to figure out how to build something sustainable in a world that keeps changing literally every single day. And that is exactly what my group coaching program, Ignite, is designed for. It's not just a coaching framework that works for right now. Ignite, and I designed Ignite to be a business model that's built to last because it's built around what makes you irreplaceable. Applications for the founding cohort of Ignite are open right now and they close on March 23rd. If you are on Instagram, the link for Ignite is in my bio. If you are on YouTube, the link for Ignite is in the description. And I want to close today with the thing that I believe about AI and coaching. And that is the rise of AI is the best argument for human coaching that has ever existed. We are living in a moment where people have access to more information, more advice, more frameworks, and more answers than at any other point in human history. What a time to be alive. But as a result of all of that, people are more confused, they're more overwhelmed, and they're more paralyzed by analysis paralysis than ever. Because information without a relationship, it does not create change. And knowledge without accountability, it does not create results, y'all. And advice without trust, it doesn't create action. What does create change, results, and action is a coach, a real human who knows your story, who holds your vision, someone who stretches you when you want to stay comfortable, someone who believes in your capacity to get where you're trying to go, even when you've temporarily forgotten that you can. That's a coach. No language model on earth does that, and no language model on earth ever will. So, if you've been sitting on your coaching skills because you weren't sure the market still needed what you have to offer, let me settle that question for you right now. The market needs it more than ever. What it needs from you specifically is for you to stop waiting and start building. So, it's Thursday. We go live at noon, Monday through Friday. I want y'all to come back tomorrow because I will be here live at noon. And if Ignite is calling your name, I want you to click the link in the description if you're on YouTube, click the link in my bio if you're on Instagram. I see yes. If Ignite is piquing your interest, click the link in the description on YouTube. Click the link in my bio on Instagram. Applications close on March 23rd. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.